Hey, this is Sidney Ashton with my first semester at a university in review. Since it's 2019, I figured why not tell everybody how my first semester went. And so basically we're going to go through the ups, the downs, and everything in between. The first thing I want to go over are classes and finding them at the beginning of the school year, since you don't know your way around campus and things like that. So I've gone to the wrong class twice and it was awful. Basically, the first time was my Spanish class, and I went to the right classroom according to my sheet. I looked, I walk in, I sit down, there's like 8 other people in there, and I was like, okay, it's a small class, I guess not a lot of people take Spanish 1, which I thought was weird. And so the time rolls around, the class begins, but there's no professor, and so we're just sitting there, and I was like, are you guys in Spanish? They're like, yeah, this section number, because our classes are broken up into sections. I was like, okay. So we sit there, 5 more minutes go by, and a lady walks in. She's like, your class moved down the hall. So we hurry up, pack our stuff up, we're 5 minutes late, and we run down the hall to this next class, and we walk in, the professor was like, yeah, we changed it 30 minutes ago, it's supposed to notify you on Canvas, but I guess it didn't. And so she let it slide, we sit down, go with the class, but I'm sitting there embarrassed because, I don't know what to expect if you walk in late to the class. And then the second time that it happened, my friend and I both had chemistry lab at the same time, 6:30 p.m. The same professor overall, which they actually don't teach our class, I guess. They have TAs that do that. So we had the same professor to teach the class, and then it was in the same building, and I thought we had the same class number. So I sit in the lab, her and I are like, yes, we're partners, just like in high school chemistry. And so we get our lab done fast, and we turn it in, and he's like, you have the wrong section number on there. I'm like, no, my schedule says a section number at this time. He was like, that's the class next door. I had sat in the wrong lab with the wrong TA, and I wanted to cry. And so I hurry up and run over there with all my papers that he signed, and I was like, oh my goodness, I was sitting in the wrong class to this other TA that was supposed to be mine. And he was like, well, did you at least do the pre-lab? And I was like, yes, I came to the class with it because we were told to in an email. And he was like, oh, thank goodness, you were the only one to do it. So that went on his good side, thank goodness. I'm standing there trying not to cry. My face turns red because that's what happens when I'm embarrassed. My ears get hot and stuff. And he's like, no, it's fine, you did the work and all that, just I'll sign what's left and then you can turn it in just next time come to this class. And then I get out of the lab and I meet up with my friend again. I'm like, can I look at your section number and all that? And our classroom was 1 number different. I didn't pay attention to it, I just thought we had the same class. So my advice to you would be to check your schedule before the class starts, weeks in advance when you're getting all your stuff prepared. Look at the map so that you know where to walk that first week. Maybe even do a practice walk around during orientation, which is what I did. And then check before you get to the class, 30 minutes before, in case the professor changed the classroom at the last minute, since they're still getting things situated with class schedules and stuff like that. And then check when you're sitting there, if you have the time or if you're allowed to bring out your device, because you could have avoided everything that I went through had you done it, and avoided the embarrassment of standing there and being like, yeah, I was in the wrong class. I also want to talk about books because I got completely ripped off for this first semester. If you are able to, wait until the class starts and you get a syllabus to see what you need. If your school has a database or something at the bookstore they use, because I went to the bookstore like we were told a couple weeks ahead of time, and I bought all my books brand new, which was my first mistake. And I had been given books that were recommended for my class but from the year prior, and so I had the wrong books because they were old and out of date, even though they had most of the same things. And so I had to try to return them, but they said that I couldn't because they were open for the full price. And so I basically bought a lot of my books twice. So don't do that. If you can, try to use things like thriftbooks.com. I bought a $50 textbook for $4 used on there. There's also Chegg and a couple others. We have a place by our campus called Textbook Brokers. I know a lot of friends got textbooks from there. If you don't want to keep your textbook, then I guess you can rent. I want to have my own so I don't have to pay anything if I return it and something happens to it. If I buy it and something happens, I don't really care. So that's just me personally, but I hope that you don't spend as much money as I did. I had friends that found almost all their textbooks for free online as a PDF. Don't know how, but they did. So just try to look around online on Amazon, things like that. You get Prime for free as a student for I think 6 months to a year. I don't know how long it is, but you get it for free. So try to use that to your advantage. I'm signed up, so I'm going to be getting my textbooks for this semester faster to my dorm and for cheaper. So try to sign up for Prime. There's also a great website called Unidays, UNIDAYS, and they have student discounts and membership prices. They list it all on there. They have things like Hollister. It just changes every month. It's to different places. Sometimes it's restaurants. So definitely check out student discounts and see where you can even use your student ID at, because I've found a lot of places near a college campus take student IDs as a discount. If you have a military ID, do the same. Just check around, see what they have. And then I'm going to talk about, I guess, loneliness, to put it that way. When you first go to college, you're kind of alone. You're separate from all the people you went to high school with. You're separate from your family. Even if you're 30 minutes away, like I am at a college campus, it's still a huge difference from where you were in high school, and it's a big change in your life, and it makes sense that you're going to feel some type of sadness or something. And so don't feel alone in the sense that you can't be sad. You can be. It's understandable. It's just a problem when it's weeks on end. That's when you need to kind of look in at yourself and ask, what is going on? Why do I feel this way? You need to address those things. And I feel like a big issue is adults, sorry. Staying in the room for long periods of time. You need to get out there, even if it's to the lounge on your floor in the dorms. Just try to make an effort to sit somewhere that somebody might talk to you, even if it's at Starbucks. I mean, just get out of the room as much as you can. There's events, go. Even if you don't want to and they look boring or dumb, just try to go to forums, lectures, events. We have something called Eaglethon, which is like a long dance marathon to raise money. Go volunteer. You'll meet tons of people. There's events on your campus, and I'm willing to bet that there's an Instagram or a Facebook or a website even that you can go check out to see what student involvement opportunities there are. Join a club. There's things that I'm involved in, like AMSA, which is the American Medical Student Association, which you can be a freshman and join. There's also honor societies. Those you can't really join as a freshman because you need a GPA from the university, so that might be something in the future as a sophomore to think about. But just look on your school's websites, see what they have. We even have a Quidditch team at my school, and they actually travel to places like Texas and things like that for competitions. It may be dumb to you, but to some other viewer, they might really think that's so fun. I mean, I go and watch their practices sometimes, and it's pretty intense. Like, they have uniforms and everything, and I love Harry Potter, so I would enjoy something like that if I had the time. That is another thing that you need to think about, is your class time and your availability. You don't want to join something that you can only go to one meeting a year. You know, like, I wanted to be in Spanish club because I'm trying to get a Spanish minor, but I can't go to a single meeting because of the times. I have a class during that. So it's unreasonable for me to run for an officer position or something like that if I can't be there at most of the meetings. So that is another thing you need to look at, is your time management, when you can go do things. But if you can, try to go out. Try to meet new people. I mean, I know some people may be shy and it might be harder for them, but that's why you would join something, so that you're kind of forced to talk to people. I know that sounds like probably the opposite of what you want to do, but for that first week or two, you really need to try to learn how to talk to people. You're going to need that in your job field anyways, so put yourself in those situations where you're forced to talk to somebody, or forced to go and work with somebody on a project maybe, or an event that's going on campus. So I highly recommend getting involved. That is a big deal. And one way you can get involved, transition, is Greek life. I can't speak for every campus on how it works. I can't speak for every sorority or fraternity how it works, obviously. But from my experience, I would say that the sorority that I'm in has really set a foundation for me to grow and to become a more involved, a more well-rounded person, whether socially or academically. I'm not forced, but by joining, you're going to talk to your sisters, you're going to meet new people, and that's how you make those connections. And I live on campus in a dorm that has community bathrooms, which is awful. Let me get to that in a minute. You really need to learn how to be mindful of your space. I clean every day. Your roommate may or may not be like that. I try to keep my space nice in case people come in. I don't want my roommate to bring friends and think like, oh wow, her roommate's a total slob. I don't want anybody to think that of me, so I try to be mindful. I try to sweep and things like that. My alarm clock, don't be the person that lets your alarm go off for 30 minutes. That really, it's rude because your roommate might not wake up at that same time. Try to just be quiet. My alarm goes like beep, and I'm like click, like hurry up. It's like a race. Plus that gets you going and out the door as quick as possible. So just try to work with your roommate, communicate with them and tell them, hey, I'm not into this. I need you to be on the same page as me when you first meet. I did this thing called roommate connection in order to even find my roommate, and I basically said, listen, I'm not into drugs and alcohol and smoking. It's an absolute no for me. I like a cold room. And she was like, okay, I'm not into those same things. Like, let me reword that. She was like, I'm not into smoking, drinking, and drugs either. I like a cold room. And so I was like, yes, alright, that works. And so now we're roommates. We both don't go out and party. We don't get smashed and come back. We are just chill. We study, do our work and things like that. We keep the room cold, and so it works. You need to be blunt when you're trying to find a roommate, because if that's definitely something you're not into, you need to let them know so you don't cause arguments later on. I know a couple people that have already had to change their rooms, and it's a hassle in the middle of the semester trying to move upstairs, downstairs to another building. So to avoid those conflicts, just be straight up with people in the beginning. And if you don't have that opportunity to try to find a roommate you like, and you get paired with somebody random, still try to tell them, hey, maybe we should set a cleaning schedule, who's going to buy what, something like that. You need to work together, otherwise it's just going to create animosity. It's going to get worse as the semester goes, and if you're stuck together all year, then it's just not going to be a situation that you're going to enjoy. So try to avoid that by communicating and being upfront with people. The community bathroom situation, I have to say that I really hate it because people don't clean up after themselves. There's water on the floors. People flush paper towels and feminine products. Throw that in the trash can. Throw the paper towels and the feminine products in the trash can. I don't know how many times I can say that. Some people, I guess, don't know these things, and so I'm going to tell you now to throw it in the trash. Do not flush it, because it's going to get backed up, and it's a mess. And so community bathrooms, get shower shoes. Do not go in the shower without shower shoes. That is the most disgusting thing. The bathrooms don't get cleaned as often as you would like, and even if they are cleaned, as much as I like the custodial staff, I'm not going to try to hype them up by saying that they do a thorough job. I mean, I think my mom is the most thorough person I've seen clean a bathroom, and so just be prepared for that. It's nasty. Get in, get out. Don't spend a ton of time in there. I mean, you don't really need to. Anyways, it's not a bathroom that I would ever want to go into, but I have to anyways. It's like not even a hotel. It's like a motel bathroom. Like, get in, get out, don't leave a mess type of thing for somebody else to pick up. You also need a good shower caddy. I have one that I got at Target, and it has like this little bucket that comes out of the shower. So that's basically the end of the video, but I did want to say some of the things I'm going to change for the next semester is, one, trying to get connected to people more and definitely reaching out, because I always kind of expect people to do that for me, and I feel like it's only fair that I reach out to the people that support me and are friends with me and things like that. And then I also want to get onto a research project, and so once I find out how all that works, I'll try to tell you. And then finally, I'm going to try and change my study habits, because the habits from high school didn't really work out this semester. It was really hard for me to get the 4.0 at the end, and I did it, but it was very grueling, and I barely got any sleep. I rarely went to bed by 1 a.m., 2 a.m., so I stayed up at the library studying for hours, and finals definitely took a toll on me, and so I just want to prepare and change the way I study. What I had been doing is trying in high school is I would write all of the notes down, read it 21 times, and then say it once. But the problem with that is in college you don't really have time to be reading things over and over again like that, and so I tried filming lectures and then listening to them while riding my bike, but that didn't really work out either, and so maybe I'll try flashcards. I always hated them in high school, and so I'm going to just try and change what I'm doing, see how that works. I did get the 4.0, which, it was hard. I'm not going to say it's easy, but I will finish this next semester hopefully with another 4.0, but I'm going to see what study habits I can add into my collection, and so comment below what you do that might be able to help me out. So have a good day. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.